Oh wow, everybody's already hopped on here. That's cool. What's going on, Ron's mom? Can you guys hear me okay? Pinzer, what's going on? Motorola, what's happening? What's up, Angie? Good morning, Carrie. Everybody hear me okay? Rocking my pink coffee cup this morning. Close this. What's going on? Music is my boyfriend. Close that line. Alright, cool. Thank you, Carrie. What's going on, everybody? Glad to see we got so many people already here this morning. Got 16 on already. Top of the morning to you, Valerie. What's going on, Survivor, Kristen? What's going on, Angel? Good morning. We already got a bunch of people on here already this morning. I'm surprised. It seemed like people are already chatting back and forth before I even hopped on here. What's going on, Jamie? Good to see you. All right. What's up, Craig? Got a bunch of people in here already this morning. It's been a morning today. What's up, Magna? Pellets, what's happening, man? What's up, Angie? Angie, I hopped on Facebook this morning for a second, and I saw that it looked like you went whitewater rafting or something. A picture of you whitewater rafting was like the first thing I saw when I opened that up. How did that turn out? Yeah, Kristen, it is hot. Like, for real hot. Was that, Angie, was that... Okay, yeah, you did that in Yellowstone. That's awesome. What river did you go on? Yeah, it's hot everywhere right now, Valerie. We are getting it bad right now. It's at the point where you came and after 12 o'clock, that's it. Yeah, I completely understand, Kristen. It's that time of the year. Yeah, Angel, that's what I was doing this morning. I was outside trying to get some stuff done before it got hot today. Really? Hotter in Virginia than it is in Florida. Wow. Shoshone River. Oh, okay. That's awesome. What's up, David? I see you got the wrench today. That's awesome, man. Thank you for being here. What class of whitewater is that, Angie? I've never been on that river before. '92 in Florida. Wow. I don't even know what it is outside right now. It is 83 degrees here right now. It's been 33, 34 up here in Northern Ontario. We're not on Celsius here. I don't know what that is. What's 33, 34 in Fahrenheit? Class 2 and 3? Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear you got to do that. I love whitewater. Yeah, Motorola. Yeah, we're a little bit different here. Okay, thank you, not for nothing. About 9 degrees. Yeah, it's 83 degrees here. It feels a lot hotter, but the humidity here is it's always bad. I mean, it's ridiculous humidity here in South Carolina. Turn this volume down on this. All right. So what you guys want to talk about today? Somebody give me some ideas here. What's going on, Catherine? Good to see you. 65 degrees. Not here. Knocking out my son's football practice right now. It's 10 a.m. Nice. Oh, it said dirt. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, whitewater rafting is awesome. Oh, diet. Talk about diet. Okay. We have our 2 granddaughters with us. Thanks. Oh, that's so good to hear, Renee. So glad to hear that. I hear you, Motorola. Angie, I don't know the exact. I mean, I guess it would depend on your, on your exact body. But I'm do not consume that much fat. I probably maybe 20 grams a day or something like that. Very small amount. Majority of my diet consists of, and I've talked about this before, just protein shakes, and then I have, some fruit, basically steamed vegetables and protein. That's basically my diet for the most part. Yeah, David, I picked it up, but I have not taken it. I'm still kind of on the fence about what I want to do with that at this point. Paul said he had a bear in the backyard last week. What kind of bear was it? A black bear? What's up, Trippy Seeds? Good to see you. No, Motorola, we're gonna have to file an insurance claim with USPS because they're gone. We don't know where they are, and of course I've got money wrapped up in that, and I think there was like $40 in shipping or something like that. I know that we had to pay some kind of like Canada tax or something like that. I know there was like $40 that we had to pay, and then in the shipping or whatever, and then the hats, they're gone. So I don't know. We're gonna file an insurance claim with USPS, see if we can get the money back. How long did you have the dull feeling in your right side? Coach, I had that dull feeling in my right hand side for quite some time. Probably probably a few years, and I knew what it was. I knew it was my liver. Oh, okay, cool, Paul. It was a black bear. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Motorola. I'm glad to hear you got your money back, man. I'll just have to figure it out on my side. Do you have any tips against diarrhea, Marius? No, I don't. That's one of the things that kind of comes along with this, especially if they have you on lactulose. I mean, it's just part of it. You can take what's that stuff called? Imodium, but I've spoken to a doctor about that before, and they told me not to take that stuff. So I really don't have anything really good to tell you. The brat diet. Bananas, rice, toast. Yeah, eating simple foods. Stuff without, that's not spicy. That's nice, Trippy Seeds. What's going on, Mark? Good to see you too. I don't know if we can ship to the UK or not, Mark, because we're on Amazon, and We have to go through Amazon for everything, and we've had some problems shipping internationally. My wife's the one that takes care of all that stuff, and it's like a really big pain in the butt trying to get that taken care of. She had to go through a whole lot just to ship to Canada, and the last package that we went to ship to Canada ended up being a problem, and it got lost. Motorola Dynatak on here ordered it, and it got shipped off like May 9th, and it's been bouncing around from post office to post office, and we still haven't gotten it back. Pellets, the carnivore diet, for me, I can't do it. I just can't process that much meat. I just can't digest it. Oh wow, y'all have bears in Florida? I didn't know that. Yeah, Motorola. Unfortunately, Amazon just makes things so difficult. Yes, Carrie, the coffee cups will be available. What's going on, Maltas? I'm glad you got off that stuff too, man. Valerie said the carnivore will give you a heart attack. Yeah, that's why I was saying trippy seeds. The doctor told me not to take that stuff. Thank you, Awake Now. I really appreciate that. We actually, we just had a bear sighting here where I live at in South Carolina. Now there are bears up towards the mountains, but we're about 2.5 hours away from the mountains, and somebody had a bear in their backyard. Awake Now, my dad was pissed at me because when I jumped off of the boat, not only did I jump off the boat and do that stunt, but I bent the antenna on his boat because it was a center console, so he had like the metal bars that you can hold on to, and his antenna was right beside that bar. And I guess when I jumped off, I grabbed the antenna and I bent it. He was so upset with me when I did that. That's nice, Malta's. Glad to hear y'all have nice weather there. Jack in the Box. Jamie, I did not have any heart damage, and they did like a heart scan on me. I remember them like looking at the valves in my heart and stuff. Thank you, Motorola. I have yet to get to the comments from yesterday's video. I was doing yard work all day yesterday and this morning. Cool. Sounds good, Mark. Yeah, Craig, I've heard that. I actually saw something one day. I was watching a YouTube video and saw that people were taking Imodium for opioid withdrawal in like massive amounts. That's got to be so dangerous. I did not realize that it was like an actual opiate that was in Imodium. Angie says she's gonna see one bear. Oh wow, I didn't know that y'all had those in Ireland. Mark said the fire ant story is pretty funny, man. If I'm honest, it's one of those situations that are terrible at the time, but something akin to comedy. Yeah, that was a horrible one. One of those stupid things that you do when you're drunk. And I had to go to work covered in fire ant bites. What's up, Sandy? Good to see you. Sorry you're at work today. Really, Survivor or Kristen? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm just reading right off this. Imodium can get you high. I did not realize that. I thought it just helped with the withdrawal. Oh yeah, Angel. My dad knew we were intoxicated. We have been drinking all day. Yeah, Ron's mom. I did not realize that. I did not realize that you could actually get high off Imodium. That is crazy. That's got to be so dangerous for people that are taking massive amounts of that and, probably ended up with some kind of blockage or something like that. Unnecessary. Lives in Alberta and sends regular pictures of grizzlies and elk. That's one thing I would not want to be around as a grizzly bear. Oh, your niece. I got you, Paul. Okay, Kristen, I got you. Yeah, that was that fire ant thing was that was a real experience right there. My wife would not let me in the house that night. She was not happy with me because I was gone all night long. I tried to get inside the house and she slammed the door back on me and said no. Holy cow. 50 to 100 tablets? That is crazy. Anyone seeing big problems with tranks? What's tranks? Are you talking to me, Kristen? What did I say happened? What's going on, Rita from Chattanooga? Oh, are you talking about like the trank that they like mix in? It's like a tranquilizer with like a it's what's that drug? Fentanyl. It's like it's a tranquilizer mixed with fentanyl. Opiates always your pain when they were developed. Its usefulness for diarrhea was accidental though useful finding. Thank you, Ron's mom. Did your wife ever give you a key to get into the house? Angela, she did. That morning when I woke up when she wanted to leave to go to work. Sudbury, okay. That animal tranquilizer. Kristen, I was talking about I was talking about whenever the story I told yesterday about the fire ants. Xylazine. Okay, yeah, I think that's what it is. A literal fire crotch. Yeah, exactly. And when I said that I got bit in the places that I did, what I tell my coworkers exactly what happened. That's what I told them. Did anyone here use the bright eye alcoholic form? What else I'm right? I have never. It's called xylazine. Okay. My coworkers just my Kristen, when I was in the restaurant industry, everybody knew that I was a big drinker and that I always had crazy stories and stuff like that. I'll tell you guys a really funny story. I just told them what happened, but just to tell you guys another funny one. This one right here is hilarious. It wasn't at the time. Yeah, people get infected from that like really bad. When I was working at that same restaurant, all the employees used to smoke on the back dock, and there was like a big fence that was around that back dock area. And one of my employees came in one day and said, "Your wife is out back and wants to talk to you." And I walked outside and was wondering what she wanted to speak to me about. And when I walked outside, my wife was parked back behind the building, and when I walked out there, this was when I was like in my early 20s, and my wife had found a little stash of some like DVDs that I had, and she came up to my work. These were not the type of DVDs that it wasn't like normal movies, if you catch my drift. Anyway, she threw them at me in the back of the parking lot with my whole entire staff watching this incident, and she pulled off, and I was rather embarrassed. How long did it take for your family friends to believe you're sober? How long did it take for your family friends to believe you're sober and never want to drink again? Veronica. Oh, Veronica, what's happening? I don't know. I would say, I mean, right after I got sick, I think they pretty much knew that I wasn't going back to that again. Take you away now. Yeah, Jamie, they were naughty movies. She embarrassed the heck out of me that day, and I never ever had those ever again. I went wild in my 20s at university, had my Facebook deleted for years due to people tagging me in drunken photos. Yeah, for real, Mark. It's good to see you, Veronica. How have you been doing lately? Have you had any more bouts of pancreatitis? I know that you got diagnosed with chronic pancreatitis, and that can just come back out of the blue. Trust me, I know all about it. Oh yeah, Craig, it's all over the place, man. Especially in Philadelphia. I can't remember the name of that road. There's like a road up there, and it's like the whole entire road is just people just using. I think it's like the number one place in America for like heroin and all that kind of stuff. Yep, Kensington. That's it. That's it. That's exactly it. There's a couple of YouTubers who have gone there and done like little documentary type videos. It is just crazy. Wow. Need some advice, Shaw. Lately, I've been struggling when I run into former friends, drinking buddies. I was a major weekend binger. Lots of mixed emotions. Um, what kind of advice are you looking for, Deborah? About like how to not drink when you run into these people? Could you give me a little bit more context on what you're trying to get advice on? Trippy C's, when you were throwing up in the morning, your lads respected you. Did anyone ever pull you aside and try to talk to you? Absolutely, they did. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you a really funny story. When I was working at that club, I went out back one day and threw up. And I used to eat tomatoes all the time. It's like one of my favorite things to eat. And especially like grape or cherry tomatoes. And I threw up right there, right beside the cooler. And a tomato plant came up about a month later and was there. It kept coming back every single year after that. And they called it the throw up tomato plant. But people absolutely tried to talk to me. They would pull me to the side and say, "Hey, man, like, I really think you probably need to stop." And you said I have stupid, drunken photos of me on Facebook. I've been meaning to delete them for a while and haven't yet. I used to be stupid about drinking. Oh, I know all about it, Angie. Me too. No pancreatitis. That's awesome, Veronica. I'm so glad to hear that. Luckily, we don't have fentanyl epidemic in the UK. That's crazy that y'all still have that spice stuff over there. They pretty much eradicated that here in the US. Yeah, Motorola. I hear you, man. Did I ever deal with the gastritis? Yes. I have to take pantoprazole twice a day for that. When I was when I first got hospitalized, uh, I had eaten a sub sandwich like a week before I went to the hospital, and there was still some of that sub sandwich in my stomach when they did an endoscopy on me. It had not digested. It was still in there. Because they asked me, when's the last time you ate? And I told them it's been over a week. And it's crazy because I was throwing up and I don't know how that was still in my stomach. Yeah, pincer. Very true. Yeah, Motorola. I hear you on that, man. I didn't go to college. Fentanyl is a terrible problem here. I'm sorry. Valerie, that you have that. Yeah, Wake Now. I think you're right too. Yeah, that's crazy that spice is such a big thing over there. Gotcha, Craig. Okay, Kristen. Thank you for hopping in today. Love you too. My liver bad. Won't take anything. Diet only. Not doing good with it. Not name anymore, but they always said people, places, and things are what we need to change. Exactly, Carrie. Angela, spice is a synthetic cannabinoid that they spray on they spray it on like a potpourri and people smoke it. I had a friend of mine who was like really addicted to that stuff. Rosa me either graduated from adult ed school at 23, dragged it out, squeezed every last penny. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Motorola. Love you too, Kristen. Have a great day today. That's good to hear, Melanie. The lion diet's pretty much a carnivore diet, isn't it? People don't want your company, or you can't enjoy theirs without being drunk. You're exactly right, Penzer. Yeah, Nighted Rider, you're right. No, Valerie, that wasn't bath salts. That's something different. Bath salts are, I guess, like a synthetic, like cocaine or methamphetamine. I hear you, Motorola. Wow, that's crazy, Veronica. I've seen videos of it. Same thing here, Trippy Seeds. I started at 15 myself. Thank you, Angie. LD, do you believe in the concept of harm reduction for people who don't have disease? When you say harm reduction, could you give me a little bit more what you mean by that? Like weed maintenance? Oh, I no, I don't believe in that. The thing is that, and this is just my opinion, so please don't crucify me for what I'm gonna say, but I just feel like if in fact you're gonna do that, that's gonna become a problem, and it's gonna be a constant doing of the other substance. That's gonna become an obsession, and that's gonna become the next thing that you're just gonna pour yourself into, and that's just what. For me, that's what would happen with me. For other people, maybe that's not going to be the case, but I wouldn't do it myself. The thing is that with myself, I obviously pour myself into things, whatever it is that I do, whether it be alcohol or work or whatever, or a hobby. And, I just feel like I would pour myself into something like that. Yeah, that's my opinion too, Carrie. Yeah, I think so too, Cindy. What kind of experience did you have with the CBD drink, Angel? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, David. Mark said, "LD, how do you deal with acquaintances, people you don't know well, inviting you for beers, etc.? Did you tell them the situation, or make an excuse, or just get out of it?" I just tell people I don't drink anymore, and that I don't want to be around alcohol. I'm pretty open. I have been very open about my situation with people. It's not a secret. The town that I live in is very small. Um, Pretty much everyone in the town knew that I was an alcoholic. It wasn't a secret here. I was always out at the bar, and now that I don't drink anymore, mostly everybody knew that I got sick, and uh, I've been pretty open with people that I stopped drinking because I was on methadone, but he still smokes and the fatty, so he flushed the opportunity down the toilet. Oh, that's sad. Valerie, yes, my bilirubin, AST, and ALT were high. Yes, very high. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. By the way, before I go, I've seen many people shout out your page on different platforms. Well done. Thank you, Veronica. I didn't even know that. I don't get on social media or anything like that often. And I'm just not out there like that on the internet. I just don't look that often. Guess facing life on life's terms is what I'm aiming for. Yeah, I feel you, pellets. I'm in the bush too, like 15 minutes drive from the city. I'm so happy for the day, for the cities. Yeah, Motorola, I could never live in a city. Since I've lived in the country, and I grew up basically in the country, and now that I'm back in it, I don't want to go back to that. Ever had you talk with them briefly? If I see them around, but I get comments like, well, some people can't handle it. Yeah, I would just be honest with them and just say that I don't drink anymore and I don't want to be around it. Valerie, I've had the red palms before, yes, and very itchy too. But wait, now so there's sobriety trend with young adults. Yeah, that's really good. I actually watched a like a little short documentary that this guy did not too long ago, talking about how the younger people these days are moving to like non-alcoholic beverages, and that's a really good thing to see. Going boating now, I'll be sure not to jump off the back. Yeah, don't do that, Carrie. Have fun going on the boat. Yeah, that's really good to hear, awake now. Most of the beers are selling zero alcohol beer and wine now. Yeah, that's a really good trend to see that's happening now, and hopefully this is going to end up being like cigarettes at some point. There's still going to be people that are going to do it, and but they know the harm that's associated with it. Oh, it does absolutely, trippy seeds, absolutely does. Wow, really? You got intoxicated from the CBD drink? That's crazy. That's cool, man, that you told your wife that story. That's awesome to hear, awake now. That is so cool. That is like a cool thing that people are doing now. From past experience, I would never risk NA beer. Yeah, I wouldn't drink NA beer. Not now. But for somebody that's, just like, a young person that's going out to a bar and they drink NA beer and they never had a problem with it, I don't see why that would be an issue. I mean, that's just my opinion. Exactly, Cindy. I feel the same way. Yeah, that's really awesome to hear. Marius, my anxiety now, I don't have any anxiety. Not at all. I mean, I have normal anxiety, but nothing like it was before when I was a drinker. My anxiety was through the roof. And that's the crazy thing about alcohol, is that I had anxiety. I didn't grow up with anxiety, and then I started drinking, started developing anxiety, and then started using alcohol as a means to get rid of the anxiety, but the alcohol was causing the anxiety. It's crazy. 2005, when I was 20, social media didn't exist, nothing, just flip phones. Yeah, exactly. That's so awesome, Cindy. 25 days, that's so good. Yeah, Motorola. How have the cravings been, Cindy? Have you had any? Did you do other stuff like coke, weed, pills at all? Thanks for your inspiring message. Barry, I did. I never did pills, but I did do coke and weed, and other drugs, psychedelics, mushrooms, acid. I played around with all of it. Me too, Angie. I refuse to take the interstate. Oh, you're exactly right, Melanie. It does. It absolutely destroys your liver. Steve said when you give up alcohol and go to the pub, you realize how stupid. Oh, you are not kidding. 2 months. That's awesome, Steve. Mark said my anxiety was always high after a gambling session. When I wouldn't gamble for weeks, my mental health was great. It's crazy how that works. Okay, Angel. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. That's awesome, Cindy. Still to this day, I still get them. Yeah, Veronica, you're exactly right. Went to go see a band last night in this heat wave, and the drunks were dropping like flies. I'm sure awake now. And that's one of the crazy things too is that when you finally get sober and then you go somewhere and there's people drinking, you realize how stupid that you actually were acting and how like it's just it's annoying to be around people that are drinking. And I haven't been around people drinking very much, but the couple times I went to my mom's retirement party last year, and when we first got there, everything was cool. There was food laid out all over the table. I started eating some food and just hanging out, and then before you know it, as people started drinking more, the louder people started getting, more confrontational people started getting. I mean, they were getting confrontational over the stupidest things too. They were having a conversation about roasting a whole pig, and people started arguing with each other over it. And I told my wife, I just looked at her, I said, I gotta go. I can't be here any longer. Barry said I worked in restaurants as well and did a whole thing with Adderall and alcohol to cope. Stress restaurant work really contributes to addiction. Absolutely, Barry. Worked in restaurants for 26 years, man. Ron's mom, does your brother struggle also with alcohol or health, or is that question too personal? I'm not gonna talk about my brother Ron's mom just out of respect for him. I've definitely cut down hard on the beer since finding this channel 2 months ago and smoking tobacco. That's so awesome to hear, Motorola. Man, you did all the hard work, man. I just come on here and talk about this stuff. Pink Frosting said, what are the differences between your pancreatitis symptoms and liver disease ones? Was the pancreatitis from alcohol too? The pancreatitis was from alcohol, yep. And the differences between pancreatitis and liver disease are night and day. Pancreatitis, when you get it, it's extremely painful. Liver disease can be painful as well, but the pancreatitis is different in the aspect of one, it causes you to vomit nonstop. You can't eat at all. Extremely bad pain in the back. really bad pain in the right in the center of your stomach, like right around where your pancreas is. You just feel like you have like the flu times 10. And like I said, really bad back pain. Having a liver disease is just different. It's hard to describe, but that's more of like a long term kind of a thing. You just feel lethargic all the time. There is nausea that's associated with it. I get nauseous basically every day, but it's nothing like pancreatitis by any means. Melanie said a couple weeks sober and line diet. I won't be looking in maternity section anymore. That's so cool to hear, Melanie. People drinking when you're sober is fun. About an hour, then I gotta bounce. Exactly. You're exactly right, Cindy. I say that all the time. I have never woken up in the morning after a night of not drinking and went, man, I wish I had drank last night. Yeah, you're not kidding, Motorola. Yeah, spicy, acidy foods can cause pancreatitis. Smoking causes pancreatitis. You can get pancreatitis if you've never even had a sip of alcohol. Yeah, awake now. It does. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ron's mom. I don't want to talk about his business. Yeah, awake now. I had lots of fun in the restaurant industry. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Paul. Monroe said, I saw your videos pop up on recommended a couple times. I was like, no. And then one morning I was hungover and I was like, just face it. That's so cool, man. So crazy how the videos get just recommended to people like that. Absolutely, Mark. Good to see you too. Thank you, man. See you later. And you said if you have a MELD score, would that mean that you have some type of liver disease? I would imagine so if they're doing a MELD on you. Making opiate withdrawal. What's going on, Jersey girl? 105 degrees. Good Lord. That's crazy. Get myself. Yeah. Same here, Steve. I don't even play around with that stuff. A weekend of visiting show the drinkers. Yeah, Karen. I completely understand. I'm sorry to hear that, Melanie. Oh, absolutely awake now. You get a super big adrenaline rush, especially after a big rush, like on a Friday or Saturday night, and you've done 1,000 covers or something, and then after that you get to go out and have some drinks. It's a good time. Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate that. Yeah, pellets. That's why I've never fooled around with it. I've talked about this before on here, but I used to. I've tried quitting before I got sick, and started drinking NA beers, and got to the point my wife would go buy them for me because didn't want to drink the just regular, Bush NA or whatever. I had to have like the fancy ones. So she would go pick them up for me, and I just pour them out and pour beer in them and drink it. You look like my bro who passed away in 2021 from fentanyl overdose. He was a chef too and drank like you do. That's crazy, Motorola. Yeah, Karen, it is drama. Hey, Trippy Seeds, see you later. Peace and love to you too. I mean, I was roasted now, but I went back and looked at some old blood work, and that was from 2 years ago. More my blood work. Wow, that's crazy, Angie. They didn't tell you got a 10 meld. That's not okay. Yeah, kombucha does have alcohol in it. That's a good point, Awake Now. As a matter of fact, my wife bought some kombucha because she drinks that a lot, and she bought some probably a month or two ago and asked me if I wanted one. I told her I can't drink that. It's got alcohol in it. Very small amount. It's like 0.5 or something like that, but it does. Jersey girl, you are not kidding. We do. We make the best liars in the world and sneaks. Coming up with little plans and ways to get around and, drink and, you know, the filling up of the water bottle. How many people on here drank vodka when they were drinking? Yeah, I'm sorry, Angie. Yeah, Motorola. My wife barely drinks at all. She never did. Yeah, that one little airplane bottle would be wait now drink Tito's. A 10 meld is the meld score is your score like what your liver is. The lower the score, it goes from 7 to like 40, I think, Craig. And 7 being the best, and then going all the way. It might be a little bit lower than that, maybe 6. I don't remember, but the more. So if you have like 40, that means your liver is like done. 10 a 10 meld would mean that her liver had some issues going on with it. Yeah, pellets. I don't even use mouthwash for that reason. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Marius. Oh no, Valerie. They didn't even tell you that you had chronic liver disease. They just hand you the paper and you went home with it. Yeah, that's why I was trying to get at Jersey Girl about how many people on here took put vodka in water bottles. Because that was like something I always did. I had a vodka. I went to the store one day because we were at Disney World and bought a 20-ounce Sprite bottle. Poured the Sprite out. I didn't even attempt to even drink it, and then filled it all the way up with vodka and walked into Disney World with 20 ounces of vodka and got drunk at Disney World with it. Yeah, Steve, I blacked out every night. Deborah said, "Yep, orange vodka with Sprite. Oh, I used to drink Sprite and vodka all the time." Gotcha, Motorola. That's I cannot believe they don't say anything to you. Yeah, pellets. I drank vodka every single day. That was I rarely drank anything else. I was on tequila for quite some time, but it was vodka. That was it. And for some stupid reason, I thought that people couldn't smell it. I don't know why. My old boss was a really bad alcoholic as well, and he used to drink what's that the one that's like it's got like mint in it. Can't remember the name of that liquor. It's like a liqueur. It's like a mint liqueur, and he would drink that thinking that people couldn't. Peppermint schnapps. He would think that people couldn't smell it because he was drinking that. It's like you just smell like peppermint vodka now. Oh yeah, wait now. I've had absinthe too. My brother was in the Navy, and I think he went to Italy and came back with a bottle of absinthe they snuck on the ship, and it was the real absinthe. And we drank that whole bottle one night, and it turned out to be a really bad night. Yeah, Catherine, I'm sorry about that. I can't stand the smell of it anymore now. Oh no, you're good, Motorola. That's what we're here to talk about. It does. So many nights of, getting blackout drunk and then waking up the next day and having little teeny little snippets of memories of doing something really, really stupid. And then, you get that anxiety, like I was talking about yesterday, the anxiety that comes along with, what in the world happened last night, and you have no recollection. And you just remember that one little memory of, like, breaking a window out or something like that, just for example. Not saying I ever did that, but just some stupid thing that you did. Oh man, Melanie. 100 proof peppermint schnapps with Diet 7 Up. Wow. That's crazy. You drank it one time and lost your job. Angel said, I call Blue Sky Vodka stormy weather. Mix it with OJ and it tastes like a good drink. Yeah, exactly. Craig said people seldom mention gin. I drank gin too, but it wasn't like the drink of choice for me by any means. Gin and tonics. It's crazy the stuff that we do, especially when the wine reps would come in. For anybody that's on here that's in the restaurant industry, the wine reps come in like once a week, and you have like, I don't know, there were probably like 5 or 6 different wine companies that sold to us, and the wine reps would come in. They always had this big like suitcase that they wheeled in, full of wine bottles, and it's your job, especially as a chef, and then it's like the front of the house manager. They need to taste the wines and see what they want to recommend to people. And we would sit around, once a week or a couple times a week with wine reps and get smashed. Yeah, Motorola. Yeah, I like beer too, but it was just basically just liquor. No, wait, no, I've never had any scripts for that. Oh, you're exactly right, Steve. That's the only person that we're deceiving is ourselves. Do you ever feel really sick even after 2 years sober? And if you, oh, absolutely, I get sick all the time. Um, I have a prescription for Zofran. I get nauseous a lot. I take Zofran at least once a day, probably sometimes twice a day. It makes me really sleepy when I take it though. So when I do, a lot of times I'll have to lay down and take a nap. If I'm not feeling well, a lot of times I'll just lay down for a little bit when I'm not feeling good, and that's basically how I deal with it, and just take it easy for a little bit. But it's when I was last year, I had to have I think a dozen ERCPs on my pancreas, and each time I would have to have one of those ERCPs done, I would get very ill after it, and just a lot of downtime, laying around and just trying to get better. Angela, it's funny that you say that. Angela said, "Me too, Catherine. Does the sound of ice clinking in a glass bother you? It does me. My wife used to get really upset when she would hear me in the kitchen putting ice in a glass, and she said, still to this day, if I put ice in a glass, it still bothers her because I used to do that, especially in the morning. I would go inside and go in the kitchen and put ice in my cup to make my drink in the morning. I did drink craft beer. That's all. That's really all I drank was craft beer. I drank those really high test ones, like 9 to 12% alcohol ones. Wait, now said I'm lucky to be alive. I lied to my psych doc about drinking. I was prescribed Ativan. Oh, wow. That Ativan, I didn't even know what was going on when I was on that stuff. Actually, as for benzo, I fell off. I lifted 250, smashed my ribs to the ICU. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Melanie. That's the one thing that really sucks about it, especially when you know somebody that's drinking like that, and there's nothing you can really do. I mean, you can talk to them, but can't make anybody stop drinking. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, unfortunately, and just like with me, people have been talking to me for quite some time. My wife begged me and begged me to stop, and I couldn't do it. Yeah, awake now. That, from what I understand, it's hell getting off of those. Yeah, the thing about those craft beers too is they're really high alcohol percentages, and a 6 pack of those can really take you somewhere. Yeah, Motorola, especially when you get to those, like little cities like Asheville, North Carolina, or something like that. Kind of like a hippie kind of a city, and they have all those little craft beer bars, and everybody's little microbreweries, and it's the cool thing to do to go in there and try their beers and get the little samplers. Deborah said, "Did your staff ever catch people bringing their own alcohol to the restaurant, done it, and smuggle alcohol at concert movies?" Um, Deborah, the private club that I worked at, they could actually bring their own alcohol in there. Oh, Craig, man, my garden is crazy right now. I'll have to do a video and show you guys all that stuff. I'll actually probably go out there one day and video when I harvest a bunch of vegetables out there. It's getting really big. Yep, Motorola, the hipster thing. You got to make sure that you've got a flannel shirt and blue jeans that you roll up on the bottom, and some suspenders, and mustache that you turn up like that. Oh, I love pickled okra too. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, you're exactly right, Melanie. It really does. It's crazy how I'm dressed like a bum now ever since COVID. Do not care anymore. I feel you. I love fried okra too. That fried okra is like my favorite way to eat okra. I just don't eat fried food anymore. Walmart sweats and hoodies in the winter. I hear you. You guys ever had corn nuggets before? Is that just something that's like a South Carolina thing? What's a corn nugget? It's kind of like almost, if you guys have ever had what are they called? Like a hush puppy before. But they take like hush puppy batter, and they just put a bunch of sweet corn in it, and then they make a really thick batter, and then they'll put like cheese in there, so it's like cheese, corn, and like hush puppy batter, and then you scoop it into balls and deep fry it. They are ridiculously good. Angela, to make fried okra, all you really got to do is just soak them in buttermilk and then take them out of the buttermilk and toss them in flour that's like flour and cornmeal, and then deep fry it and season your dry. When will you drop the old pics videos when you're a chef? I'd love to see corn nuggets slap. Oh yeah, I love corn nuggets. I just can't eat them anymore. I'll drop those pics and videos within the week. Probably not this week coming up, but the one after that. Chicken nuggets. Catherine, all you have to do is take the okra, and you don't fry the okra whole. You can, but you want to just cut it in lengthwise, like little pieces, like this, and soak it in buttermilk. And then, your dry that you toss it in is like half flour, half cornmeal, and then and you season it, and then take it out of the buttermilk, dredge it in your dry, and then deep fry it. Oh, I'll do a video of making some corn nuggets. I love corn nuggets. Yeah, fried pickles are really good too. Yeah, Melanie, I don't eat fried food anymore at all. That's all I'm saying. It's one of the things I love to eat, but I just can't eat it anymore. I can't eat corn anymore. It totally wrecks my stomach, and it's horrible for your liver too. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta get up for 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Absolutely, Angela. Scottish eat fried Mars bars. Is that the fried Mars bars in like tempura batter? My brother and I did that one night, and we deep fried like Snickers bars and all kinds of stuff. Man, I ended up feeling so sick after doing that. Yeah, the fried foods are horrible for your liver. I was a dishwasher once for 6 months, but remember the manager bringing in pictures for the kitchen staff during those dinner rushes. Alcohol is glorified. Absolutely. Every single night, at the end of the night, you grab a couple pictures and take them back to the kitchen. That's how you get your guys to, one of the ways that you get them to do anything you need them to do. You hand them a couple of pictures at the end of the night and say, hey, I need everybody to clean these hood vents. They'll do anything for free booze. Oh yeah, buttermilk works great for breading. Yes, Craig. Mars candy bars, man. My beard is such a mess today. You take them and you dip them in like tempura batter, and then you deep fry them. What is the better barbecue sauce? Oh, better barbecue, Texas or Carolina style? I mean, it really depends on what your preference is. I prefer Carolina style, and I prefer North Carolina style barbecue than South Carolina. Even though I live in South Carolina, I grew up in North Carolina, and the barbecue there, North Carolina uses a vinegar-based barbecue sauce, and it's basically like red pepper, chili flake, apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, and sugar is their sauce that they use, and they wipe the pig down. They like mop the pig with that sauce, and then it's served on the table. South Carolina uses a mustard-based barbecue sauce, more or less, and I don't really care for it that much. Yeah, Angie, corn is not good for your liver at all. Angela, fried pickles are delicious. Have any of you guys ever seen, I can't remember the guy's name. There's a channel on YouTube, and it's a guy, he goes around and busts pedophiles. Gosh, what's the name of that guy's channel? Something Flowers is his name that he uses on his channel. But when he busts these pedophiles, whenever he wants them to call the police for him, He'll say, I sure could use some fried pickles right now. And that lets them know to go ahead and call the police. John said, what's your diet consist of mostly these days? And do you still do a lot of cooking around the house? Well, John, I do all the cooking around the house. Um, and my diet basically is I eat lean protein, steamed vegetables, and basically really low glycemic fruits and protein shakes. That's basically it. My diet is very, very, very simple. LD, do you like Anthony Bourdain? I love Anthony Bourdain. Awake Now, I have definitely, I have read his books. I used to watch all of his shows. I miss that guy a lot. Pink frosting was corn bad for the liver. I can't really, I know one that the glycemic level in corn is really high. It's just not good for your liver. No, there's no gluten in corn. Gluten, it's got to have wheat basically for it to be gluten. But high fructose corn syrup is made from corn, and the glycemic level on corn is really high. It's just corn is not good for. I can tell you guys right now, as a matter of fact. So it says here, canned corn may contain added sugar, such as high fructose corn syrup, which has been linked to the development of NAFLD. Consuming too much fructose can increase insulin resistance and hepatic lipid deposition. People with fatty liver disease should be mindful of their overall fructose intake, including from canned corn. Corn peptides. Some studies suggest that corn peptides, and it's a starchy vegetable, contains carbohydrates. Some people with liver disease may have high blood sugar levels that are too high or too low, so they may need to limit their carb intake. Corn peptides attenuate non-alcoholic liver disease. So I guess it's not like one of those things that you cannot necessarily have, but you want to limit it. Sorry guys, I'm so behind on these now. Well, I love grilled corn. Yeah, corn does not digest very well. What's up, David? Hey man, it's all good. You're here. Colorado Pet Patrol. That guy gets like really, really, really in those guys' faces. I don't like that one that much. I like that other guy better. Yeah, Steve, corn does come out just like that. Yeah, John, it is. It's hard to digest. Yeah, anytime that I've ever had corn, it always messes my stomach up. Angela, why is everything that tastes good unhealthy? That's a good question. I love an alcoholic. I turned 37 yesterday. A drunk almost ruined the party. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, happy birthday though, or belated birthday. Yeah, Craig, corn does have a lot of natural sugar. Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. Look corn the same way I look at candy. Yeah, absolutely awake now. Corn, white potato, peas are all very starchy and convert to sugar quickly. Yep. Steve, I think everybody pretty much does crave sugar when they stop drinking. I know that I craved it like really bad. Cindy, yes, I do. I get very bad fever when I get sick, really bad, especially with pancreatitis. I think the last time I had pancreatitis, my fever was like 103. Angie, people with cirrhosis can't have instant potatoes because they basically convert to sugar immediately. You really don't want to eat potatoes. Exactly, Steve. Yeah, me too, David. That's all I wanted. I still to this day, if we go to Sam's Club, when we get back to the back where they got like the brownies and the cakes and all that stuff, I'll walk around and look at that stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could eat every single one of these things here. I hear you, Jersey girl. Go take care of that grandson. Love you too. Have a great day today. Yeah, beans are okay to have, Valerie. They actually suggest for us to have beans. Yep. Yeah, you can definitely have beans. Not all beans are created equal. And you don't want to eat a heck of a lot of them, from what I understand, because they are still starchy. Sugar-free candy, Angie, don't mess around with that stuff. What they use to make that is alcohol sugars. They will give you diarrhea like something you have never had in your life if you've ever had it. I don't know if you eat them now, but if you get sugar-free candy, you go overboard on it, it will give you explosive diarrhea, like for real. And I'm not trying to sound gross, but it will. And if you actually take a look at the back of the packaging on sugar-free candy versus regular candy, like if, let's say for instance, the sugar-free Jolly Ranchers, look on the back of the package of a regular pack of Jolly Ranchers versus the sugar-free ones, and the sugar-free actually have more carbohydrates in them than the regular Jolly Ranchers do. And I'm just using those for instance, but if you look at any candy, really, the sugar-free one has more carbohydrates in it. Just because it says sugar-free, it's just a way for them to advertise it. It doesn't have sugar per se, but they're out using alcohol sugars. Yeah. Pink frosting, those sugar-free candies will wreck your stomach. David said, I heard red grapes are supposed to be good for the pancreas. I don't know. I never heard that before, but I do eat grapes. Beans, good for the heart. Yeah, there you go, Steve. I love an alcoholic, said Craig. A guy threw a temper tantrum, began threatening us, had to call the police to take him. And after getting out this morning, he began sending us death threats. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. I love an alcoholic. I've heard alcohol, artificial sugars, and sweeteners are terrible. They are, John. Yeah, they will really mess your stomach up. And actually, read the back of the packaging on any of those sugar-free candies. It'll tell you not to eat too many of them because it can cause stomach irritation. It will give you diarrhea really bad if you eat those. And trust me, I've used the sugar-free candy for a while when I first started drinking, and they really messed my stomach up. I stopped eating those. I'm sorry your party got ruined. I love an alcoholic. Was this I love an alcoholic? Did y'all go to a party or were y'all at a bar and this happened? It sounds like this is somebody that you actually knew well. The whole thing wouldn't have happened if if he hadn't been so wasted. Guy lost a lot of friends, gotta say. That's the thing about alcohol. That's good to hear, Cindy. Pink frosting for a good laugh. Read the reviews on Haribo or whatever the brand sugar-free gummy bears. The story is so funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. Get on Amazon and look up sugar-free Haribo or however you pronounce that. Look up the gummy bears, and everybody on there is like, man, I had diarrhea so bad from eating these. Yeah, Angie, I think if you have like one or two of them, it's okay. But a lot of people just get carried away with them, and then it ends up bad. Oh, wow. 4 bangs a day? Good Lord. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, that definitely would ruin a party, that's for sure. How do you know bleeding stomach? Just throw it up. Valerie, throwing up is one, and another is if you start to notice that, and that's another thing too. If you have any of these liver problems or anything like that, most likely you have portal hypertension if that's the case, um, which is going to lead to the varices, and which is going to lead to bleeding at some point probably. And you need to pay attention to your bowel movements. And I know that's not like the most lovely thing to talk about, but it's just a fact. And you need to pay attention to your bowel movements and look every day. If you start to notice that you have like black tarry stools, that's an indicator that you have bleeding. And I've experienced that. Uh, and I wouldn't have known if I hadn't have looked. And it's just one of those things you have to pay attention. Diane said, any tips for peeps just starting out on their journey? I would say the best advice I can give you is just starting out, stay home. Don't go anywhere. Uh, you know, get yourself some comfy clothes. Find some good movie. Get on Netflix or whatever it is. Pick out a bunch of movies or a television show or something. Stay home. Go to the grocery store. Get a bunch of food, drinks, whatever you want, and stay home for a while and don't go anywhere, because there's just so many things out there that are gonna trigger you, and especially like the first week, if you can, I would just stay home. And if you have to go to work, go to work, go straight home. And, don't stop by the gas station on the way home. Take another route. Don't go by that liquor store that you used to stop at. Uh, Let your friends and family know what you're doing, so that they don't try to invite you to that Friday night party. Say, hey, I'm trying to stop drinking. I don't want to, go to these events. I would definitely avoid anything like that. Um, but I think that's the best advice I could give. It's just really isolating yourself for just a short period of time, and until you get over those really major cravings that you're gonna have. Yeah, Angie, you definitely don't want that. David said this might be kind of off topic, but did you guys hear the guy who did the Super Size Me documentary? I did hear that, David. I did. That's so awesome, Motorola. Thank you, man. Yeah, awake now. You got to pay attention to him. Oh, I did not know that pink frosting. I didn't know that he was so bad alcoholic. Yeah, staying home, Motorola. You just got to do it for a little while and just watch TV, like Steve said, and films for like a week. You just got it sucks, but it's just part of it. You got to stay away. Absolutely, Diane. Valerie, y'all exercise muscles. I don't lift weights or anything like that, Valerie. I can't. Angie, I don't know what he died of. I don't know, Motorola. I'm not sure. I watched his Super Size Me documentary, but that's the most I know about that guy. Pellets, in the last 12 days, I have left my home twice just for food. Early days here. Yeah. That's the best thing I can recommend. It's just basically hiding out in your house for a little while. Yeah, I didn't know he was an alcoholic either. That's crazy. Maybe he got addicted to the McDonald's from making that documentary. Oh, he had cancer. Thoughts of opening a restaurant? Absolutely not. No way. Never will do that. There is no money to be made in the restaurant industry. If people have this idea that they're going to go into a restaurant and make millions of dollars, and it doesn't work that way. Restaurant owners make 5 cents on the dollar. That's what your profit margin is on that. And the only way to make money in a restaurant industry, I'm sorry for anybody out there with any hopes and dreams of opening up a restaurant, the only way to make money is to own multiple restaurants if you want to get wealthy with restaurants. Normal mom and pop restaurant, you're not going to make any money off of that, and it's too much stress. Valerie said, I try to build my muscles back. 14-ounce can squats, Tai Chi is fun. That's good to hear. Got the hospital a week before Thanksgiving this past year and stayed home for a while after. Then the day after Thanksgiving, I found LD's channel, been ever since. That's so cool, Angie. So you found my channel the day after I started back. Because I made one video in March. Saw that video, had 27,000 views on Thanksgiving morning. And did a video that day. And started doing the videos again after that. I'd forgotten I even made a restaurant. Awake Now said, you owned a restaurant? Thinking about a Big Mac now. Owned a restaurant, sold a restaurant. It's kind of like, you know what they say about having a boat. There's, you know, the two best days of having a boat are the day that you get it and the day you get rid of it. Sounds like the same thing with a restaurant. I'm doing cash jobs, demo dump runs. It's hard with my cousin smoking the fatty. I know it's two different things. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, man. Thank you for saying that, Angie. Thank you, Pellets. Thank you, Pink Frosting. Never thought that I would be doing this. This was never in... This was never in my wheelhouse. Never something I ever thought that I would be doing. Ever. In a million years did I think that I would be on YouTube talking about sobriety. I never even thought that I would get sober. I just did not think it was ever going to be possible. I just did not. Thank you, Awake Now. I really appreciate that. I think the only reason that I'm, you know, able to talk about this stuff is because I just have so much experience being an alcoholic, unfortunately. I feel you, Motorola. Thank you, David. Man, I really do. I was sitting in this exact chair that I'm sitting in right now when I made my first video. I was sitting right where I am right now when I made that first one. My face was completely sunken in. You could see my eyes were all sunken in. I was not in a good place when I did that. And that's when I felt like comfortable enough to film. I looked way worse than that before that. Looked bad. I did Awake Now. I looked really sick. I actually ended up like a couple weeks after I did that initial video, I ended up in the hospital for like 2.5 weeks with pancreatitis. Right after that, we went to Disney World, and right when we got back from Disney World, I got sick again and was right back in the hospital. Thank you, Catherine. I'm glad I'm here too. Thank you so much, Motorola. I really appreciate that. It's crazy what the human body can do for itself. Thank you so much for saying that, Angie. Unfortunately, I have a lot of experience of being an alcoholic. Maryland, Amazon merch sales, and it's not... I never set out to sell merch. It was more people wanted me to do it. It was never anything I ever wanted to do. I had a bunch of people asking me for it, and I really kept procrastinating over and over. I didn't want to, but I had so much pressure. I finally went and did it. We don't sell that much stuff really, but I don't talk about it on here. It's just not something that I'm like really concerned about. Awake now. How do I feel today? I feel good today. I was actually outside this morning doing lawn work. LD, that first video is haunting. This current video is inspiration. Thank you, Motorola. Yeah, that first one was bad. Yeah, Catherine, I did have earrings in that first video. I haven't worn them, I don't think, since then. It is cool, John. It was really neat, man. My wife's the one that noticed it because we were sitting down here watching TV Thanksgiving morning, and she goes, "Isn't that the video you did? It's got 27,000 views." I was like, "What?" Oh, you're good, Motorola. I'm seeing everything you're saying. Where I live most places, cards. Only minding the car for your cravings. Yeah, I hear you, Deborah. How does a person have a relationship with someone who is withdrawn because they found out they have cirrhosis? What do we I don't what do we say, what do we not say? How does a person relationship with someone who's withdrawn because they found out? Grateful heart. I would just give them some time, honestly. It's a lot to digest, especially in the beginning when you first find out. Just give them their space for a little bit, and I don't know if I would say a lot to them, other than that you're there for them if they want to talk, and don't pressure them too much. Don't try talking to them too much about it if they don't want to talk about it, because that can be kind of aggravating when people keep wanting to speak to you about it when you're not ready to. Just be understanding. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to digest. It's a lot to take in, and just be understanding. And they just got a really bad diagnosis, and it might take them a while to process it. I would just give them their space for a minute, and that's the best advice I could say. Thank you so much for saying that, David. I know what you mean, man. I've seen a lot of channels on this topic, and yeah, some of them, especially when you get to the ones and it's like, hey, I'll talk to you guys about this, and then at the very end of the video, and if you want to buy into my program, and you're like, what? Yeah, Craig, you've been around for a long time, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, Angie, I knew basically the whole time. Adam, finally made it to the live. Always forget. Well, you made it today. What's going on, Brendan? Yeah, Melanie, I just listen. We all relate to you as we know the hell of alcohol. Absolutely, Steve. What if you're the only one in your family that has to quit? It's still in the house and nobody is worrying about me and my issue. I'm 65, started at 48 after the kids were grown, creeped up fast. Wow. Katie, that's a really tough one right there. The only thing I can say to you, Katie, is that if you're the only one in your family has to quit and you're having problems and there's people drinking around you and they're not respectful of the fact that you can't drink anymore and they continue, I mean, that's a hard one. If it was me, I would sit them down and have a really serious conversation with them and tell them they got to stop. And I don't know what your situation is. There's not a lot of context here. I don't know what your house situation is. Is this your house that you're talking about? Or who are the people that are drinking? Is it your children that are drinking? Is it your husband? Or, what's the situation? Because if it was my house, and I'm just going to say from my perspective, if it was me and it was my house and people were drinking in my house, I would tell them either they can stop drinking in my house or they could leave, because I'm not going to have it in my home. And that would be the best advice I could give. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. used to spit blood in the bathroom. Of course, he would go to the doctor. He'd look at me. One word, varices. Yeah. I think somebody has got to have gone through it. They know all the awful symptoms better often than a lot of doctors who have been there. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Motorola. That sucks. But make the money your moral person, and we need money to survive. Yeah, Melanie, it's just not something that I'm just like pushing. And there's really no money in the merch anyway. Like seriously, like I make like a buck or two or something after everything's said and done. I mean, it's there's really nothing in it. That's so cool, Angela. So my friends died in prison, homeless, the ones that still drink on weekend. You're gonna basically cut ties with everyone. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Ron's mom. I wouldn't go either. I refused to go. And the only reason I ever went was because they made me go. I was so sick. Um, they didn't even give me an option. They just said you're going to the hospital. I would not go to the hospital. I wouldn't go to the doctor. It didn't matter. There's no alcohol allowed in my home either. It's our safe space. Absolutely, Angie. You got to make your home your safe space. I mean, if you can't be safe in your house, where can you be? And if you're trying to stop drinking and people can't respect that, then you gotta make a decision because it's your life at the end of the day. And if you're constantly being surrounded by people drinking, people bringing alcohol, I mean, it's a constant trigger. Smelling it all the time, opening your refrigerator and it's got beer or wine or there's liquor sitting on the counter. I mean, I would not allow it. No way, Jose. Just would not. Anybody got any more questions or anything? We're like an hour and a half now. Well, I guess if nobody's got any more questions or anything like that, I guess go ahead and end the live for today. Like I said, we're at an hour and a half here now, and I think we had a pretty nice live today. Had a nice participation, a lot of good questions, a lot of good conversation here today. I really appreciate everybody hopping on here and joining in. This is a really good time. So glad that I got my high-speed internet now because this is actually working out well. And I remember the first couple of times I tried doing lives, it did not work very well. I kept getting the screen would freeze up and all kinds of stuff like that. But now it's working really, really, really well. But I don't see any more questions or anything like that. So guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this for today and get back to trying to get some stuff done around here. I really appreciate everybody coming in here today. I really do. And like I said, I'm going to continue to do these every single week. Probably just keep doing them on Saturdays. If I have something going on Saturdays, I'll probably move it to like Friday or probably won't ever do it on a Sunday. But either Friday or Saturday, I'll do the lives. And I'll continue to do these every single week. It just gives us an opportunity for everybody to get to know each other a little bit better and just chat and have some live questions for anybody on here that wants to know something. I'm not an expert or a doctor or anything like that, but I can give you my opinion. And if there is one thing that I have a lot of experience in, it's in being a severe alcoholic. That is one thing that I can really say that I've been. But anyway, guys, I don't see any more questions or anything else, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget, tomorrow's gonna be the talk with my wife. We're gonna be going back into talking about that house that we used to live in and finishing up that story. I don't know if we'll finish talking all about that tomorrow, but we'll talk a good bit about it and tell you guys some of those stories that happened in that house. Because, like I said, that it really was a haunted house. There was some spooky, spooky stuff that happened in that house, and we've got a lot of really good stories. And my wife will be right there to validate everything I'm talking about. So. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here for today. I don't see anything else on here. And I will see everybody in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in today. I really do appreciate it. And I love you guys so much. So until tomorrow, guys, I will see y'all then. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here.